What's everyone? We're live. Quite an adventure this afternoon. I was late for the live, and then I got no electricity at my place. I had to come to this coffee shop to do the live. Sorry for the background noise. It's gonna be really, really hard. But I'll mute myself. I'm at Wendy. I'm with Mandy, as you saw. Mandy, how's it going today?
I'm really well, thank you, Etienne. How about you? Doing well with, dealing with the stress of finding internet. I really appreciate you going through all the trouble. That's really awesome.
Yeah, it's been a big thing. It's been a big thing. But so I'm excited for today's topic. And you guys in the chat, sorry for the waiting time. Comment below, let us know that you're watching this live. It would be awesome. I see we have Colin, we have Jamie, Bruce. You guys have been waiting for a long time. It's crazy. So that's awesome. So welcome. And Mandy, we want to talk today about something interesting. So a lot of people that kind of go through trading sometimes, they get to a point where they say, well, I'm not a good trader. Like trading is not good for me. I'm not the type of person that can do that full time. That's because of my type. And that comes back to the question of like, is it based on your talent or kind of just skill gives up over time? So we kind of want to talk about that today. Is it like, are you born a good trader or do you have to make yourself a good trader? So what are your thoughts on this, Mandy, to start with?
Yeah. Well, you know, the the thoughts, the conversation about are great traders born or made really started with the turtle traders, right? The turtle experiment. And why I picked it up is because I'm having a conversation now with a friend of mine who, we are actually discussing. This friend of mine is an amazing trader, right? Like top top in the world trader. And this trader says great traders are being born; they cannot be made. And also looking at the turtle experiment, that seemed to be the outcome. Also, if you look at a $1 million trader, this showed $1 million traders, it's the same thing. The outcome seems to be great traders are born and not made. Now, if we look at what is it that makes a great trader? Actually, before we go down that path, I would love to know what you guys on our chat think. So, Colin, Jamie, Bruce, Michael, would you please type into the box what is your thoughts? What are your thoughts? Do you think great traders are born or made?
And if you're watching this and you're not commenting yet, comment below in the chat. We want to hear from you, of course. Tell us where you're from and tell us what you think. Is it are great traders born or made? And we'll get started with that. We'll get rock with that right after. But it's good to get your opinion because then we can talk and focus on what you guys want to have more. And if there's any topic you want us to cover tonight, this morning in Australia, comment below in the chat and we'll make sure to kind of go through those topics, answer those questions to give you as much value as we can, hopefully.
So, guys, what are your thoughts? I don't like Monday TV, so it's utterly boring for me to just talk at you. You have to play. Otherwise, I go have coffee, breakfast. Thank you, Colin. So text education and work, so made. Yep. Certain personality traits are a plus, but I think hard work is the key. From Jamie, thank you. Alejandro says it's nurture. Michael, I feel you have to have some character traits, but also believe that like anything, trading can be learned. And Daisy says it's both. Thank you so much, guys, for engaging and playing here with me. I really, really appreciate it. It makes it so much more fun for all of us, and also it brings out the best in Etienne and I, as you guys know. And I also it will help to bring out the best in you guys as well. So I personally believe that it is a lot of nurture. Nature, but to be great has to leverage talents. Thank you, Godfred. Thank you for contributing. So if it is nature or nurture, we don't know as yet because no one has run any experiments on it. If we look at what makes a great trader, it is certain behavioral patterns, right? Who here knows any statistics about the trading performance at the moment that is being posted? So at the beginning of 2000, the statistics was around 90-10. So 90% of traders don't perform and only 10% of traders do perform. Who here has some updates on the statistics?
I think it's similar, but I haven't heard different ones. I think it's pretty much the same. So we've heard like 80, 20 to 80% not profitable, 20% profitable. We've heard 5% full time, 95% losing money. So I think it varies. But if you guys heard something that you think is valuable, comment below in the chat, and we'll get to that after. Kind of curious
So
too. Anyway, from my
the latest statistics, Etienne, that came out was at the beginning of 2018. And yeah, exactly on that one, the one from the ESMA brokers. And the statistics were 25% of traders are above break even. So we don't know the extent of break even. And 75% of traders are losing money. And it was funny. I was working with a trader and he said, "Oh, I'm only break even. I don't make money." And I said to him, "Are you aware that you are in the top 25% of traders in the world?" And he's like, "No, I didn't consider that." So that's why those statistics are really great when we know them, because it gives us a benchmark of where we are at. So Daisy says, she thinks it's the same. Yeah, no, it has actually improved tremendously, Daisy. So that's fantastic. It has gone from, so losing traders have gone down from 90% down to 75%. I don't know if it is because of the improved ability to take statistics and to measure trading performance, or if it is really that traders have improved due to the extent of information we have available on the internet. And I hope it's the second one. No, Lee, most probably you're not doing as bad as you thought. And I love that you say that, Lee. Maybe I'm not doing as bad as I thought. Now, how do you know if you're doing good or badly? Can you give me some insights into how you assess and ascertain if you're doing good or bad? And I'm waiting for Lee to respond, please. And in the meantime, I will continue the conversation around are good traders made or are great traders made or born? Keeping a tracking sheet. Well done, Daisy. Lee, you're lucky. Daisy helped you with that one. Thank you. Because so many traders, they are so down on themselves, I find. Exactly your statistics. Thank you, Colin. And oh, great, Lee. So Lee says whether my account is growing or not. And Lee, I love that you give us the answer, because now we have something to work with. Jamie says equity curve is bullish. Now, if the account is growing or not, so if our equity curve goes up or not, simply tells us if we have made money or if we have lost money. Maybe we were lucky. You know, it was 10 years bull market. Maybe we were lucky. And I know I spoke to many traders before 2008, and they thought they were super traders. They had left their jobs. And then 2008 came and they lost everything in their account. So they knew they were really well at trading, really good at trading in the bull market, but they didn't know how to perform in the bear market. You know, especially the velocity of the market coming down. So they then could have easily concluded that they are actually not good traders. But the thing is that if they had looked at what caused the equity curve to go up, what caused the P&L to be looking good, to be in the black, you know, and growing. Was that skill? Was that luck? Was that only skill that was just defined for one context, so for one market, but not for a variety of markets? So we have three types of markets, right? A bull market, a bear market, and a sideways market. What we need to take into consideration is how much toolbox we have in our, how many tools we have in our toolbox. So let's go back to our question of, are great traders made or are they being born? Who here knows what the main reason is why traders lose money? Again, we don't have statistics. So we do have statistics on it. I sat down with a broker, and I saw clearly what the two main reasons were why traders lose money. Etienne, do you know?
I would say one of them should be greed, and the other one, I'm not sure.
Okay, so if you say greed, greed is a feeling, right?
All right.
So if you translate this feeling of greed, and Lee says patience, if you use that feeling of greed and patience and you translate that into an activity, into a behavior, what would that behavior be? And
So
Gottfried,
I would say that that's something about changing the stops or to take profits, looking for more profit, or expecting the market to go more in your favor to get a bigger profit.
great. So looking for more profits than you already have. So not getting out at your trades when the exit has been given, right? Or you don't know when to exit. Over trading, exactly. Poor risk control. Well done, Colin. So the two main behaviors that jumped out of the statistics that this broker showed me was so again, Jamie, fear and greed is just an emotion. It doesn't mean anything. Think about it. What translates fear and greed into? And trading by emotion, it's just too wishy-washy. Really go into detail. What specifically does it mean, fear and greed, emotions? What behaviors do they trigger? And so the two behaviors were letting your losses run, letting your losses run so far that your account gets blown up. And the second one that was a combination with it was martingale into the trade. So they're in a losing trade and they keep adding to the losing position. That combined was the two main reasons why traders don't perform, why traders lose money and stay below the 75% part of the not performing statistics. Now that we know it's only those two problems or these two behavioral patterns of not taking your losses when your money management tells you to do and your risk management tells you to do, and martingaling into losing trades, so adding to losing trades. What do you think? Well, Colin, that's, gambling. Trading is gambling. It's we deal with uncertainty and with probabilities, and that by definition is gambling. And we don't need to be here superior in terms of judging what they do or don't do. It's about bringing awareness to the behavioral patterns that traders do, and then helping them to change those behavioral patterns by bringing awareness. So now that we know the main two reasons are letting losses run and martingaling into trades, do you think that this is a behavioral pattern that can be changed? What do you reckon, Etienne?
I would say yes, for sure. So
Yeah.
that's something you can change easily, except that most people naturally won't act this way, so they have to kind of force themselves to change a little bit.
Yeah. Well, force is not really helping much. That's using willpower. But you're on the right track, definitely. Yes, Jamie. I love that you say yes, of course. And I think that as well. I believe as well, based on my work and based on my own personal experience, I can tell you guys, if I'm honest, well, being honest with you, I sucked as a trader the first 5, 6, 7 years. My personality naturally is not suited for trading. There is something in this profile that is called, that's the millionaire tick. And it goes, if you connect your DISC profile, it is like a tick. Mine is inverted. So not suited for trading. And I was heartbroken when I found that out. I thought I love trading so much and will I never make it? And then I met this woman. She really changed my life because she's an actress here in Australia, or she was an actress, not anymore, at a very famous show called Neighbours. And I met her in a coffee shop, and she worked actually as a waitress in this coffee shop, which is just so sad. We became really good friends, and I studied and learned what she did. And I said, "What do you do to be this person that I would have never recognized her in the coffee shop to be this actress that she was on screen? You're like two totally different personalities. How do you do it?" And she taught me how she changes her character. And then I thought I can do that too. If I can learn to model what she does. So what she did, she got the character of this person that she had to play, and then she was looking at how does this person think. feel? What are the mannerisms of someone like this? What are how? So if you look, for example, looking at love, right? So I say to you, I want you guys to be really nice to each other and champion each other and be friends. If I'm a queen of a kingdom, how would I communicate that to my kingdom? I would say, you guys, you be nice to each other. You show love and respect to each other, or I'm going to behead you. When I'm a preacher, I will preach. This world will be a better place if we just be kind to each other and love each other. And so whatever my background is, my thought process is, I communicate differently. And this is what my friend did, the actress. And that's when I went on a journey and I said, all right, so how do successful traders perform? What do they do that I can model? And then it became a little bit tricky because I realized that there's so many amazing successful traders and they're all different. So it's like, man, whom do I model? And so, for example, Tony Sycamore, my favorite example. I love Tony. He is so funny. He is like Mr. Conscientiousness. No matter what happens in his life, there could be a tornado going through his life. He would send out his reports on time to the minute. Like he's traveling. He had
Crazy.
puking. Yeah, he had puking kids. They all had like a stomach bug. Um, he had some unfortunate events happening as well. His reports came out, no excuse why he could not send out the report. And I can tell you, he had enough excuses not to send out the report. But he is like, this is what I promised to my clients. My report is here. And so anyone who wants to know what I'm talking about, Etienne interviewed Tony Sycamore. It's one of his podcasts. Amazing guy. Now, Tony also goes to bed at 10 o'clock. He's like, that's not negotiable. Don't text me, send me messages, call me after 10. Not interested. Then on the flip side, his friend Matt, right? So these are the two guys I'm working with. Is the complete opposite. I can send him a WhatsApp message at 2 a.m. and he responds. He doesn't do reports, he does other stuff. So I realized that everyone is so different. Now what I needed to do is I needed to look at all those amazing traders that I've met and take elements of them. I want Tony's conscientiousness. Definitely. I want to be this kind of person that does what she says she does, who promises, who keeps her promises, not just to others, but also to myself, who has very high standards in life, right? So, and I love that. And then I want I want to be someone who can think like Matt. Matt is like his way of thinking is off the charts, super, super smart. So I look at how does Matt think? How can I model that? And, I look at someone like Linda Rushke, for example, and she's going to bring out a new book. I'm so excited about her new book. I can't wait. That Etienne, like, you have to interview her when she has her new book out. And so I can see what Linda does, what Linda did in her career. She looked at where are my weaknesses and what can I do to fill those gaps. And she says, so for example, she's a big fan of hotkeys. So rather than you typing in 10 lots, she had someone coding her keyboard. So she just needs to press one button to execute 100 lots of S&P. It's amazing, right? So what is it that I need to do in order to be more efficient, in order to take out all the guesswork, and in order to make my life easy for me, because there are certain areas in my life that I'm just not good at, and what can I do with it? So
And maybe I just want to point out here the fact that you didn't copy other people's strategy, like the way they trade, like what they look for in the market. You copied the mindset, the way they think, and kind of the strategies around trading, not in trading, which is all the difference.
exactly. Thank you for clarifying that, Etienne. Because the trading strategy, you will find your strategy when you have clarity of mind. Yeah. So that comes automatically. And the reason why people can't see clarity, the market clearly, is because they're muddled in their minds, and because they're a mess. Their house is a mess. How many times I say to a trader, I come to your house and like, oh, no, I have to clean my house first. And it's like, that tells me a lot about this person. Yeah, and it's not about being judgmental or so, right? It's keep your house messy. It doesn't matter, right? It's about how you keep your house is how you think. And if you don't have structure in your household, you want in your life, you want to have structure in your thinking. If you want to be a great trader, you have to have structure in your thinking. So that's why I believe you need to look at what are your weaknesses, what are your strengths, and then you can learn how to be a successful, profitable trader. That is for me all nurture. I can learn how to be a great tennis player unless I have, any physical restrictions, for example. Even look at Paralympics. I mean, I could not play tennis with Paralympics because they would whoop my ass. Really, they're amazing. And so it's the same, right? So you need to look at how can you use what you're good at, make that really strong, and use short hotkeys. So Linda also used trading assistants to help her with execution as well. Now, when I look at someone like Linda, and I use Linda as an example because he's female and I'm female, right? So for you guys, take a male role model. Will I ever be a trader like Linda? It's like amazing, trading on that level like she did. I don't think I will, because that for me is nature. My disk profile is inverted, and I assume that Linda's disk profile would be the tick. So that is something that I can't change, right? So my level of performance is limited. I will never be a Roger Federer in tennis, but I could be a really good tennis player. And that is the difference between nature and nurture, in my opinion. Well, what are your thoughts, Etienne?
So I'm curious about that a little bit because I thought you could work on your disk profile to kind of arrange it the way you want. So I thought you could make it how you want to have it, but that's interesting to hear that some people are different and that the form or the balance could differ. So I'm kind of curious about that a little bit more.
Yeah, I agree with you, Carlson. She's wow, amazing and so generous, isn't she? Thanks, Etienne, for pointing that out. That's a really good point. So the disk profile is something, a behavioral pattern that we naturally have and that we naturally prefer. Yeah, so we have high D, right? Linda is high D for sure. She loves facts and figures. I don't like facts and figures. I hate facts and figures. You bore me to death with statistics. And I'm still bored by statistics. That's the reality. I'm very low D. However, I have trained myself to love statistics because I now see the purpose behind it, and I now see how it helps me to become a better trader. So it doesn't mean that I love statistics more. It means that I do it because I see the purpose behind it. And I do it. It's like brushing my teeth. There's nights I can't be stuffed brushing my teeth, Etienne. I'm like, I just want to go to bed. I don't want to spend another 2 minutes in the bathroom. But I do brush my teeth and I floss my teeth because I know that I want to have my teeth when I'm 100 years old. My father was a dentist, so I have seen many, many people without teeth in my life. And I don't want to be like that, because when you bite into an apple and you feel the feeling of biting into an apple, when you don't have your teeth, you will not have this feeling anymore. And it's the same with trading. I do keep my statistics because I know if I don't, the pain of having losses will be there. And I don't want that. And the pain, it's not the having losses, Etienne, it's the not knowing what caused that loss. Because when I have my statistics, then I can go back and say, wow, I really fucked up here. And then I go back and I say, okay, what was it that what didn't work? What was it where I made the mistake in? How can I fix that for the future, that this will never happen again? And that is what this is, yeah?
So would you agree on the fact that when you don't have this naturally to you, it comes down to your reason for doing it. And if you don't have a reason now, you won't do it. But if you have the right reason to do something, then you will do it. So you have to find those reasons first.
Yeah, that's a natural behavioral pattern of human beings. It's about, Tony Robbins talks about when your why is big enough, you do what needs to be done. And so when you look at people who want to lose weight, who need to lose weight because they have diabetes or fatty liver disease, and they start changing their behavioral patterns around pizza when they are faced with death. That's a really big why, right? And so, and this is how we human beings are wired, unfortunately. And that's why when I work with my traders, I always say, why is it? What's the purpose of you doing that? For what purpose do you want to start controlling your thoughts? For what purpose do you want to switch on focus in a minute? Because unless you know the bigger picture, I'm sure you have heard this beautiful story about someone walks to where they built a Celestine chapel, and he asked the first worker, "What are you doing?" He says, "I'm just hammering on the stone to get the stones in a square shape so that we can build the wall." So this guy is task oriented. He goes to the second person. He says, "What do you do?" He says, "I'm hammering on those stones to get them square so that we can build the wall, because that is my career. That is my job." So that is one level chunked up. So he looks at career. And then we go to the third person. What do you do? He says, "I hammer on the stone to get it in a square shape to build the wall. So, and that is my career because I want to help people to connect with God." This man has a purpose in life. He doesn't look at the stone as hitting at a stone and goes home being tired and feeling unappreciated and thinking his life sucks. Every time he works on a stone, he knows he's fulfilling his purpose of putting people in touch with God. I'm not religious, but that's, I love this analogy, and we have to do the same with trading. And if you ask traders, right, they're like, "So why do you trade?" "Oh, because I love trading." Well, if you love trading so much, why do you sit here crying and having so much pain and tragic and drama around your trading? Doesn't make sense, does it? Let's
Yeah.
have a look at what's going on here.
So I feel like also people mistake the fact that they want to trade so that they can fulfill their purpose, but I think that they have to trade more and be more present in the market, take more trades to fulfill their purpose, which is like a mistake to make. So they have to adjust this properly, and this is where like you come in to tell
Sorry,
them like a
Etienne,
plan, a business
it's
plan,
not
and
their
stuff.
purpose. It's not their purpose that they're fulfilling.
No,
It's a task that they are doing.
yeah, but sometimes they feel like they fulfill their purpose. That's what they think, and they could be doing that for a long time. So.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the shift, exactly. I saw a really great question here. Colin says he would like to know what your list of top traders by performance is from those that you interviewed.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to define by performance, but we do these kind of compilation videos to advice. So I could do something on that, like how they like what things they do, what performance they do. But yeah, that could be interesting because I wouldn't know how to classify them and stuff. But that's interesting to look at for sure.
Yeah, okay, cool. Now you have another topic. Thank you, Colin, for another topic for Etienne's video. Okay, so in just reading the answer, the questions here.
Well, someone was mentioning the fact of having a consistent routine, which I think is big. It's really key. But once again, like you have to know which activities are going to produce results. You cannot just trade and be present everything in the market from 9 to 5 and expect to make a living from this. I think that's a problem sometimes.
So that's a really good point, Etienne. If we look at Linda, she is like routine. Her whole life is routine. And that is what makes her a high performer and why she is able to have so many balls in the air, right? And do so many things. Now, if you look at someone like Matt, he doesn't have any routine. He doesn't even have his trading strategy written down. And I ask him, Matt, how do you trade? And he's like, don't know. This guy is like 50% profit in last year. He turned his account, $100,000 account into $167,000. And I'm like, how did you do that? Oh, and he can't articulate it. I had to draw it out of him, right?
So how should people know whether they fit that style of having no plan, or whether they fit the style of having like a plan, being organized, process focused, like I am? How
Yeah.
should they know that?
So I am a great believer that, and I said that several times. So if you look at people like Tony and Matt, they grew up in terms of trading in the context of a trading environment. So they had external influences. So they both started trading in institutions, right? So both Goldman Sachs traders, prop traders. So they had the structure and the environment and the support around them naturally. Whereas when you look at Linda, she was running her own show. She wasn't paid a yearly salary. She made or lost money depending on how she behaved, how she performed in the pit. So she needed to create the structure and routine around her. And I'm a great believer that if we trade alone at home, we need structure because we don't have that. Now, if you're trading in a prop firm or if you're trading in a bank or institution, then it is not as important because they give you the structure around it.
So would that mean that someone having a business themselves from the start would maybe be better traders because they're used to having this routine, they have to organize themselves more? Would that be better?
Depends on the person. A friend of mine um, just made $250,000 on Wednesday. He just does his own thing, sits alone at home doing his thing. There's just no right and wrong answer. It's about knowing, and he's a young guy. He's younger than 30, I can tell you that. Amazing guy. And he's just lighthearted about no one would know. Like, we go for $10 lunches because we love it. We go to this favorite restaurant in Box Hill here, and it's like, just love it. That's why we go there, not because we need to go to somewhere fancy. And he just wears jeans and t-shirt. It's not important to him. So depends, and that's where it's coming back down to. So when I work with my traders, Etienne, I understand who they are. I understand how did they get to where they are now. So you had to go a certain journey, the hero's journey, right? You start out on your own, then you start meeting like magical people. They seem to have trading handled, and you go and you learn from them and you get tools into your toolbox and you start applying those tools, but you still don't make any money. And it's like, what's wrong with me? And that's your Death Star moment when you're like, I don't have what it takes. I give up. And that's the point where traders either give up or they push through the Death Star moment and they start realizing something is missing in the equation and it's themselves. Understanding who they are, how they tick, and what they need to add to their to their skill set in terms of managing themselves, so that they can then become the hero and master trading, and then they start on a new adventure. And we have several Death Star moments in our trading career, many.
I can relate to that quite a lot. So let me just tell that I've been like super chill and excited by the fact that I'm doing more like systematic stuff now, more automation, and that's I kind of just feel like a kid, like who's trying new things and trying to make things better. And it's just like this is a long time after trying to make money, but it's like another one of these kind of role where you try to learn something, you apply it, and you progress. That's kind of one of these jumps. So it's
Yeah.
been interesting.
So you had your Death Star moment when
Yeah.
you were traveling, right? You said, I keep missing trades and it's frustrating me. My system works, and I don't make as much money as I could because I'm on the road. And then you created the travel assistant, traveling trader assistant. I just made that up. Sounds good, hey? Well, how do you call your assistant again?
Trading assistant.
Trading assistant. Yeah. So now you have your trading assistant. You start a new journey with that, right? And I guarantee you something will go wrong. And they're like, man, what happened? And you have your Death Star moment. You either will discard your trading assistant or you will work on it and create a new, better version of it. And then you push through, right? Yeah.
Exactly. Perfect.
So yeah, it is. That's the hero's journey by John Campbell that we go through in everywhere in our lives, in relationships, in traveling. What you had before, we had our Death Star moment this morning. No electricity. What
Yeah.
are we going to do?
Either we
And
cancel
you,
or we go forward, and we went forward, of course.
yeah,
So
and you
good
said to
example.
me, you put this note into Skype. Um, you said, what gets, I said to Etienne, oh no, I just sent an email out to 1,000 traders to join us at 10. Oops. And you said, what gets scheduled gets done, Mandi. We'll do it. Except my computer's at 5% now. And then 5 minutes later, I go to a coffee shop. It takes me 10 minutes. I'll be there. Wait for me. Yeah, so that was our Death Star moment, and we pushed through it, and that is a sense of achievement. And Etienne, that is also something that says so much about you, because most people would have said, "I don't have electricity. We have to postpone," and you are like, "I'm going to find a way." I made this promise to my traders. I made this promise to Mandi. Mandi made a promise to her guys on Twitter, on LinkedIn, on Facebook, emails. And I'm going to find a way to be my promise. Etienne, that is conscientiousness. And that is why I love working with you, because I know I can trust on you. I can trust you and rely on you that you will do what it takes. Sometimes, no matter what you try, it just won't work. And that's okay.
I love that.
But you,
Powerful. That's how it works. Love this. So I know you have to leave in like 8 minutes, but then you can wrap this up. Any question you want to answer, or any advice you want to give people that they kind of have to apply, like something tactical, really like useful and like almost essential to apply.
sorry, what was that? So I was just reading.
So any last piece of advice you want to give people, like a tactical advice
Yeah.
or something useful they need to apply?
Yeah. So I'm just reading what Jamie says with Brett Steinbarger and Ekil Stokes and stuff. So, the thing with those guys is and without wanting to be judgmental, they have their space in the trading community, but they just tell you what to do. Like, we all know that we should cut our losses. We all know that we should, when we get tired, when we get stressed, that we should not trade. And I know that if I want to lose weight, I should not eat pizza. We all know what to do, but it's doing what we know. That's the challenge. And that is one of Steve Ward's quotes. So Steve Ward, who wrote High Performance Trading, and I love this book so much, High Performance Trading, that I called my website High Performance Trading, right? I called my business High Performance Trading. It's one of the best books. If you are right now not performing in your trading, aka not make money in your trading, you need to go one step removed from what those guys teach. You need to find out what is it that causes that triggers that craving in your pizza, in you wanting to have pizza. What is it that causes you being not able to resist the urge? And it's the same with trading. Yeah, so that's where we need to go. And Etienne, I'm going to do an experiment. I'm going to get a group of traders together and work with them for 6 months, and want to prove that. And they have to be losing traders, right? They have to be traders who don't make money at the moment. And then I want to prove that it is nurture and not nature. If I can teach them the trigger for wanting pizza, aka not wanting to take your loss, taking your profits too early, being not disciplined and jumping into trades too quickly. And if I then can transform them in such a way that they are naturally, they feel the urge and they say, I'm not this kind of person. I'm not going to go for that pizza. I'm going for that salad. It's okay. I want that pizza. I know that, but I'm going for the salad. It's like, I don't want to take this loss. I know but I know it needs to be done. I don't want to change my baby's nappies either. I don't want to clean up the poo, but it needs to be done. right? And I do what needs to be done. That's conscientiousness. That's what makes Tony such a great trader. That's what makes Linda such a great trader. And I believe conscientiousness can be taught. And every trader that I've been spoken to who is successful tells me it cannot be taught. And I want to prove differently. So let's see.
So when is that starting out? Soon or in a few months?
I have to think, I want to start it soon. I have to think about how to set it up, and also don't want to give the wrong impression. It's going to be a paid thing. I want to keep it cheap, make it as accessible for everyone. But I also value myself, value my time, and value all the skill set and knowledge that I have accumulated over the years. And I'm going to charge for that. So don't know how much. I don't know, $500 and then $99 a month, something like that. But I haven't thought it through properly as yet. It was just a spur of the moment thing after I had this conversation with my trader friend. And I thought, no, I want to know. I want to run an experiment like the turtles. And really, I'm happy to be proven wrong. Let's see. We will never know until we give it a go, right?
Love that. Powerful. So guys, we've linked Mandi with your site below. You can check it out. And Mandi, they can find you on Twitter, on different social media, Facebook as well, and I think YouTube as well. So guys, comment below if you have any question. If we can help you in any way, comment below. Reach out to Mandi if you need to, and we'll catch you pretty soon.
Shall we? Is there any more questions or?
Go ahead if you have a couple more.
Did you go through all the questions or? I think
I'm having a delay here, so on the chat.
Ah.
So go ahead if you want to answer anything.
Michael Case, can you recommend a person that relates to psychology specifically for traders? That would be me.
It's pretty much the best, yeah. That's why we have her here on the channel.
Yeah. So my website is tradingpsychology.com.au. Just so that you know. Interesting. And also check out Steve Ward on highperformanceglobal.com, and check out Denise Schall. What's Denise's website again? Denise rocks. She's awesome. Denise, thethinkgroup.net. That's Denise. She's really good. So, yeah. What else do we have? Thank you, Michael. Cool. I think we have answered every question, right? Yeah, that's a good point, Lee. You know, charging so much money that many can afford it, and I was in that bucket of was not able to afford anything, and so that's why, from my own experience, also I want to make it affordable and then help to bring traders up. Thanks, Alejandro, to post my link. Appreciate it. I think that's it, Etienne. I think we answered all the questions.
Cool. So that nice music playing in the background, we'll call it for a day for today. We'll catch you guys tomorrow. Ciao.
Thank you.